Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers assault, disorderly conduct, and handcuffing, and is brought to us by Real World Police's channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. On November 14th, 2020, Officer Drew Scott Romo of the Roseville Police Department in Roseville, California, was visiting Scottsdale, Arizona for a bachelor party. Throughout the evening, officers with the Scottsdale Police Department had been called to intervene at two different bars after Officer Romo had been removed or denied entry for being overly intoxicated and becoming aggressive and confrontational with security. Finally, Scottsdale officers were called to a third bar, from which Officer Romo had once again been removed for over-intoxication. The interaction that followed was captured on officer body camera.
Well, you need to go. Let's go. You need to go. They don't want you here, so you have to go. It's simple. If you don't want to be in trouble with us, just go. That's it.
Dude, I'm on your side.
They don't want you at the business, so you need to go.
I'm on your side.
I get that, but they don't want you here today, man.
You guys are brutal.
Hey.
I'm on your side, bro.
We understand what you do, but you need to.
I'm a law enforcement.
Okay, you need to understand. Hey.
You want to have a blue conversation?
Come here. What did he do?
Huh?
What did he do?
He's trying to fight everybody that walks by.
Right.
After you guys told us to kick us out, we kicked him out.
He ain't even following no social business.
So we literally kicked him out, and then he's literally after you guys, they just stood up. He's like, you guys want to fucking call him out? You gotta leave, bro.
Alright.
Dude, it's Arizona. What the What am I getting on what? What am I
Taking you out?
What am I?
I'm just trying to keep you out of jail.
No.
To be a California cop and and you want a chest bump us? You can go ahead and do that. And guess where you're going to end up? In my jail.
Yeah, I want to know where.
You can either calm down and go home.
No,
What
am I doing wrong?
You're too intoxicated. You're trying to pick fights with people. Every club has asked you to leave
On
multiple
what club?
times. Every club you've gone to.
On what? What am I doing?
They've removed you twice from two different clubs. Do you not understand that?
What am I 602?
I don't know what that is. That's California code. I don't know what that is.
602 resident?
I don't know what that is.
What am I trespassing on?
This place kicked you out.
On what regimen?
You're not even hearing me. I'm trying to keep you from going to jail.
I'm understanding. What am I on?
You're not understanding anything, my man.
I'm trying to.
But you're not.
What are they?
What is the hard part about just going home so you don't get into trouble?
No, I'm trying to understand. What are they kicking me out for?
You're too intoxicated. In the state of Arizona.
What?
Listen to me for 1 second. Get it through your head right here, okay? You've had too much to drink and you're not processing anything anymore. Arizona law requires that if a bar realizes you're too intoxicated, they must remove you within 30
On
minutes.
their own.
You've been removed. There's no drunken public law. You don't have that here in the state of Arizona. They're kicking you out because you're inside the establishment too intoxicated. That's a state law. They're removing you. They're obligated by law to remove you from the
I'm
premises.
asking you.
Holy cow.
I'm in Arizona.
Yes, you are.
I'm not used to Arizona.
That's what I explained to you multiple times.
Do you,
getting it?
When he was at the line, he kept on hitting the bouncer's hand. When he was trying to get through, the bouncer just kept on brushing him off. So,
hey, when he was at the front, they said that he was knocking your hand away, trying to get in and stuff.
Yeah, he kept getting like, and I was like, hey, just take a step back without a mask.
Was he hitting your hand away?
Yeah, he kept doing that. I was like,
How many times did you say he was knocking your hand away off you?
10, 15.
You saw it 10, 15 times?
I was just like this. I was like,
completely just being...
Yeah, right here, bro, the whole time.
he got like really this close, and I was like, hey, it's a little personal space, bro, and he just kept pushing, and I was like,
alright, you want to be a victim? Sure. Cool. Chance, bring it back.
You're too intoxicated to understand what I'm even telling you.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home.
Oh, now you're going to go home? You just said you didn't want to go home. Now you want to go home?
Serious?
Now you want to go home.
Let's sit him down.
Dude, I have a law enforcement ID.
You, sir, are a disrespect to our profession this evening. If you say it one more time, I'm going to hold you in custody and make you tell the judge in the morning that you have a law enforcement ID. You're a disgrace right now. So you need to shut your mouth before I call your supervisor, and we go from there, and you don't lose your job in California while you're visiting Arizona.
I don't understand.
So you close your mouth and let us do our job now, because you can't make adult decisions.
What's your job?
My job is to take you to jail now, because you can't be an adult. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Okay.
Have a seat. Sit down.
Hold on.
Sit down.
Sit down?
Yes. Kick your feet out. Kick your feet out.
I have a law enforcement ID in my wallet.
they got assault. Multiple witnesses watched about 15 times him swatting the hand of the security guards away in line trying to grab us.
We've already asked them to go home tonight.
Cool.
So if you got a victim and you got someone that articulates it, he's already been kicked out of Whiskey Road.
Come on, bro.
Service. I don't
Are you serious?
Sometimes you got to.
I have a
It's
ID.
and got the protocol. There's a protocol for this.
I'm not trying to hurt you.
No, man. The issue.
I have a ID.
The Scottsdale officers state that Officer Romo can be charged with assault for swatting the security guard's hand away between 10 to 15 times. Under Arizona law, even relatively minor unwanted physical contact can constitute assault if done with the requisite intent. According to subsection A3 of section 13-1203 of the Arizona Revised Statutes, misdemeanor assault includes, now quoting, knowingly touching another person with the intent to injure, insult, or provoke such person. This means that a person commits assault not only by causing actual injury, but also by any intentional physical touch meant to offend or provoke the other party. Therefore, as the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which has jurisdiction over Arizona, explained in the 2006 case of Fernandez-Ruiz versus Gonzalez, quote, as the plain text of the provision makes clear, conviction under subsection A3 does not require a physical injury of any kind. In the same vein, the U.S. District Court for the District of Arizona found in the 2012 case of Drotz versus Park Electrochemical Corp. that an individual could violate this statute by forcing his way into an office by pushing someone's hand off a door, reasoning that, quote, any degree of touching could violate Arizona's simple assault statute. Accordingly, this so-called offensive touching form of assault covers a broad range of conduct, even relatively trivial contact, so long as it is unwelcome and done in a rude or provoking manner. Additionally, the fact that Officer Romo hit the security guard's hand 10 to 15 times serves as evidence that he did so, quote-unquote, knowingly rather than accidentally, which is also a requirement for the statute. As such, it is likely that a court would conclude that the officers at least had probable cause to believe that Officer Romo had committed, quote-unquote, offensive touching assault by repeatedly slapping the security guard's hand. Although it is fairly clear that the officers had probable cause in this situation, probable cause must be analyzed on a case-by-case basis, and the line is often much, as we would say, fuzzier. If you want to learn more about the probable cause standard and other similar issues, you may want to consider picking up a copy of the Civilian Rights Hand Guide, our comprehensive guide to police encounters. In the first half of the book, we cover the basic constitutional and legal framework surrounding officer-citizen interactions. The second half of the book is devoted to practical guidance for managing different types of police interactions, so you can learn how to effectively assert your rights under any circumstances. The Civilian Rights Hand Guide is available exclusively on Amazon, and you can find a link in the description and pinned comment down below. Thank you so much for your support. And now, let's continue with this interaction.
Can I grab your name real quick? Yeah. I should know it off the top of my head. It's been a minute.
We were just standing here waiting for our table, and he was just like, just looking at me, and I was like, "Is there like a problem?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "What is that?" There's gonna be a problem. And I was like, and then that's when he turned around and started talking to him and pushing him.
Yeah. Do you mind if I just get your guys' name real quick? You don't have to do it. It just is gonna help. He's claiming to be a police officer in California, so obviously it's gonna be a bigger deal.
I'd rather not.
You don't want to?
Yeah, I'm good. I would rather not if I don't have to. I mean, yeah, I'm good.
I'm not going to make you... I'll just identify. All right. Let me just get your first name. How's that?
Justice.
What is it?
Justice.
What's your first name? Daniel. What's your first name?
Isaiah. Anything, bud?
I do not, sir. I'm going to work on a citation.
All right.
I don't want to do this, but that's no choice. That's okay. But this was our check subject at El Jefe, and then our check subject at International.
Oh, so you can
And then we rode away, and now we're out with them for the third time this evening. And everyone in the group says that he came over to every single one of them and said, "You want to have a problem tonight? You want to make a problem? I have a problem." And then all of them watched him get in Edgar's face, swat his hands away. Edgar's just, "Hey man, you got to back up, back up." Did you ID him, boss? No, we're going to try to, let's grab his wallet from him.
My wallet's in my back right pocket.
The issue
I have a ID in my wallet.
We've given you so many chances. We already talked. Do you know that you already talked to us tonight? Do you know that?
Yeah.
You remember that?
I understand.
How long ago was that? Minutes ago we talked to you.
Yeah.
How about a couple hours ago when you refused service into another bar and we told you to go home? Just go home. It's time to go home. You can't get into any more bars. Your buddies asked you to leave and you would not leave and you walked off on your own and they left you.
But it's a bar.
That's what you're not getting. It's great.
Yeah, but I don't understand, Mom. Under arrest. When it's a bar.
Because you had a security guard asking you to leave and you kept swatting his hand.
Bro, I'm under arrest. Bro, bar feud, when I told you.
Told me what? You're so intoxicated, nothing's sinking in.
Bro, you're seriously gonna put me in this position?
No, you put yourself in this position.
No.
Yeah, bro. See, this is the other part that's a disgrace to our profession that you're not catching. If you were a true cop and you cared about the blue, you would not put me in this position right now. You f***ing gone home when I asked you to. Okay? That's the position you put me in.
Went home.
Yeah, I do think you should have gone home. Even your friends. Where is your bachelor party?
It's in Phoenix.
You're by yourself, bro. They left you. You understand that? They left you.
Come on, dude.
All right, my man.
Yeah, I'm just one average Joe that gets caught.
Lord, do you need anything?
No, we're gonna try to. Let's grab his wallet from him.
My wallet's in my back right pocket.
Are you out here for a bachelor party?
Can I ask what you guys are gonna...
You're being arrested for assault and disorderly conduct.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding you, sir. I have 5 people that provided me the exact same statement about you trying to physically assault them and then watch you physically assault the bouncer by swatting his hand away. They noted at least 10 times.
Bro.
The security guard noted at least 15 times. Okay?
The Scottsdale officers now state that, in addition to assault, Officer Romo can be charged with disorderly conduct for his behavior, which included taking a fighting stance, puffing out his chest, and saying, and I quote, "You want to have a problem," to a group of patrons waiting in line. Now, while Arizona does not criminalize mere public intoxication on its own, under Section 13-2904 of the Arizona Revised Statutes, quote, "A person commits disorderly conduct if, with intent to disturb the peace or quiet of a neighborhood, family, or person, or with knowledge of doing so, such person engages in fighting, violent or seriously disruptive behavior, or uses abusive or offensive language or gestures to any person present in a manner likely to provoke immediate physical retaliation by such person." It is important to note that there are other ways that an individual can commit disorderly conduct in Arizona, but these 2 subsections, subsection 1 and subsection 3, are most relevant here. Public fighting or combative tumultuous behavior generally falls under subsection 1 as quote-unquote fighting, violent, or seriously disruptive behavior, whereas confrontational or aggressive speech falls under subsection 3 if it rises to the level of so-called fighting words, meaning it is likely to provoke someone to retaliate immediately. As the Court of Appeals of Arizona outlined in the 1999 case of Inri Luis C., quote, "The right to free speech is protected by the First and 14th Amendments to the United States Constitution. The right to free speech is not absolute, however, and fighting words, those by which their very utterance inflict injury or tend to incite an immediate breach of the peace, are not afforded constitutional protection." The court went on to explain that, now quoting again, "Fighting words are those inherently likely to provoke violent reaction when addressed to the ordinary citizen. Accordingly, Arizona's disorderly conduct statute has been carefully drawn to include, as a violation, only those epithets amounting to fighting words. In other words, offensive language is not disorderly conduct unless it amounts to fighting words." Now, while it is entirely possible that a court would conclude that Officer Romo's speech alone in asking the patrons whether they wanted to quote-unquote have a problem constituted fighting words and therefore disorderly conduct, Officer Romo's actions must also be considered in the analysis. Puffing out his chest and assuming a fighting stance while verbally challenging bar patrons would almost certainly be considered so-called fighting, violent, or seriously disruptive behavior, and not protected speech. As the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals stated in the 2021 case of United States versus Rundo, quote, "Acts of violence are not protected under the First Amendment, nor are true threats, which involve subjective intent to threaten. Therefore, it is likely that a court would determine that Officer Romo could be charged with and convicted of disorderly conduct for his actions."
15 times?
Drew. Bro, do you have your sergeant's information?
Bravo 33, copy 2729.
Are you a sergeant?
I'm not a sergeant.
So you don't have...
I don't have a sergeant.
Forgive me, who do you immediately report to?
I forgive you, but he is not on shift. He is medically not on shift.
Hypothetically, when you go back to work next week, who do you report to as your immediate supervisor?
No.
So you would like for me to blind call your agency tomorrow and tell them that I arrested you and then ask to speak to the police chief? Who would you like me to notify? Because if you don't want to give me any information, it's going to be a blind call to whoever I can get a hold of.
I don't have to be honest with you.
Drew, what's your phone number?
My cell?
Yes.
My personal cell?
Drew, man, we tried, buddy.
I don't know how
we gave it our my man.
I don't know how you tried.
Okay. Well, hopefully tomorrow when you're sober and you watch our body camera footage, you'll understand how we went above and beyond to try.
I don't understand.
Hey, what you guys get?
Can you unlock that for me? Can you contact Jacob Terabek?
So, hey, LT's gonna probably need to try to get a number from there. So let's just keep it open, and then you'll have your phone on you. So when you go down to the jail, you'll be able to call whoever you need.
Can I contact right now who I need to?
Unfortunately, not at this moment.
It's a sergeant within your jurisdiction.
What I'm gonna reference you to is my sergeant's on scene, and now my lieutenant's on scene. I imagine my lieutenant's gonna want to talk with you and get that contact information for your sergeant. Just gonna set up my bike bag for now. Let me check these cuffs.
Can I chill out? Or no?
I wish you would have chilled out, bro.
Come on, bro. I'm gonna chill out for you. Can I chill out or no?
Yeah, please do chill out.
I'm in custody. I understand that. Can I chill out or no?
I don't know what that means, man.
Can I hang out in custody without being in cuffs?
No, you have to be in handcuffs, man.
Officer Romo asks the Scottsdale officer to remove his handcuffs, and the Scottsdale officer replies that he has to keep them on. Now, while there's no law that requires officers to keep arrestees in handcuffs, once an individual is placed under arrest, Arizona law gives officers the authority to use reasonable restraints to effect the arrest and ensure custody. Section 13-3881 of the Arizona Revised Statutes states that, quote, an arrest is made by an actual restraint of the person to be arrested or by his submission to the custody of the person making the arrest. No unnecessary or unreasonable force shall be used in making an arrest, and the person arrested shall not be subjected to any greater restraint than necessary for his detention. This statute grants officers considerable discretion in the method of restraint to be used as long as it is necessary and reasonable, and handcuffing is generally considered to be a reasonable restraint for most arrests. Further, according to Scottsdale PD Field Order 1305, officers are required to, now quoting, properly handcuff prisoners with their hands behind their backs and the handcuffs double locked at the time of arrest. The policy explains that this is to ensure arrested subjects are restrained in the safest, least restrictive manner and to foster the safety of the officer, arrested subject, and others. Now, while the policy does allow for exceptions to be made due to injuries, age, and other factors, it also directs officers to, now quoting again, secure the prisoner as much as reasonable given the circumstances. Likewise, Field Order 2405 requires officers to, prior to transporting prisoners, quote, ensure the prisoner is properly handcuffed behind the back. This policy also permits exceptions for injuries, age, and other factors, but once again instructs officers to secure prisoners, quote unquote, as much as reasonable. Here, there were no factors requiring the removal of Officer Romo's handcuffs, as it seemed that he just did not want to be in them, and the Scottsdale officer was complying with policy by keeping him handcuffed.
Can you at least loosen them a little?
Okay, I just loosened this one, and I'm gonna.
I can't feel.
I can get my whole finger in this handcuff. Let me loosen this one. Stop moving around. All right, and I can get my whole finger in this one. All right, man. Sit tight. 10-13.
No, I know. Does that actually need any help?
I do not, sir. I appreciate the offer. I'm not a huge proponent of this, but unfortunately, we have no other choice. What's up, ma'am?
Can you open my contacts?
Yeah, who would you like me to get from you for you now?
You know this is bullshit.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
I'm a cop, you know that?
Where are you a cop at?
You know that? You don't care. You don't care, do you? I'm a good dude. I'm a cop. That's the weird thing. You know the weird thing about that?
What?
Is I can't feel my wrist.
You
loosened them for you, so.
And you'll believe that.
I saw him loosen up.
Yeah, you'll believe that. Drunk in public? I don't understand the charge. He's not explaining to me.
You've been a police officer here for any amount of time.
Sir, I can't hear you.
We're not going to do trials back on the side of the road.
Sir.
Okay? He's already explained to you that you've been arrested for disorderly conduct.
That's fine, but I don't know what the charge
is. If you continue to push the issue, we can also charge you with assault based on you batting the security guard. And I'll tell you what assault will do. Assault will get you terminated. So better course of action is to treat the guy who's being nice to you with a little bit of respect.
He's not being nice to me, sir. He's not treating me with respect. I didn't bat the security guard.
Okay, we have independent sergeant.
I'm friends with the sergeant. I didn't bat the security guard. I'm being honest with you.
That's why you have your day in court. My advice to you is just sit down, be quiet.
Totally. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay. But I'm also trying to understand the charge. And I'm also trying to understand.
We could charge you with disorderly
conduct. They didn't tell me the charge, though. So, sir, what do I need to do?
Sit down, be quiet.
And after they release me, do I need to do anything? Do I need to follow up at all?
They'll explain to you.
Sir, you're telling me that I need to worry about it, but then I don't need to worry about it?
We're going to get you in the jail. We're going to get you...
Alright, man, put one leg in.
Okay. Alright. Just being honest.
1, 2, 3.
Where's your car at, bro?
Just right here.
No, I'm doing that.
Where you at?
Just on the side right here.
With everybody coming in.
So you're taking me in? What are you booking me for? 647F?
Yes.
Is that going on record?
Is what going on what record?
647F.
Sure. Spread your feet.
I can't walk?
No, you're done walking. You need to spread your feet.
Any needles?
I don't have nothing, bro.
People are blowing up your phone, man.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay. I feel that. Why am I being booked?
Alright, we have to give everyone the same warning that goes into our cop car and into our jail. If there's anything on your person that you know that we missed, that's in your underwear, socks, shoes, or boots, and you knowingly take it into the police car or into our facility, it's a felony offense in the state of Arizona.
Zero things, man. Shoes.
I'm gonna pop it. It's a short ride, okay?
Yeah, whatever.
Alright, come on, man.
Where am I going?
You get the jail.
Come on, Hunter. What's up, man?
I can't breathe anymore.
Okay.
You're treating me like a prisoner.
Well, sir, at this current time, you are in a jail facility, and the correct term probably would be prisoner. However, we're trying to get you released, but you're not showing any signs of sobering up that allows us to believe that you can go out and act accordingly in society. From what I understand, you're dialing 911. You're continuously
I can't breathe, sir.
You're continuously banging on the jail cell doors.
Because I can't breathe. I have anxiety.
I completely understand the anxiety part.
I am sobering up. What do you want me to do?
Well,
I can't breathe in here.
I understand that. I am ordered to inform you of this information. Upon your release, you are ordered to call Lieutenant Scott Blinn, and I will provide you his phone number.
I know Blinn's phone.
Okay, and you are ordered to call him immediately upon your release to report your actions. Do you have any questions about that directive?
But I can't breathe in here.
Okay, I'm not sure what other thing that I can offer for you.
I feel like an animal in here, and this ain't right.
You've arrested
Cop to cop.
You've arrested people, right?
I have.
And they end up in a jail, right?
I have.
So you were arrested. So you end up in a jail. There's nothing we can do special for you because of your situation.
Now? You can't now.
Unfortunately, no, I can't. This goes back to our conversation from 3 hours ago when we tried our best to give you the professional courtesy that it deserved.
I gave it to you.
No. We tried to give you the professional courtesy.
I gave it to you.
Okay.
I was in handcuffs when I gave it to you.
Okay. I'm done here. I just had to advise you of what you are ordered to do.
I understand, sir, but I can't breathe in here.
I can open your trap, but if you're going to keep banging, I'm not going to do it. It's just allowed to do it.
I literally cannot.
Is that a fair compromise? They'll open your trap to allow airflow
Do you know
inside.
who's going to come pick you up tonight? We have to release you to a sober ride. So if you were out drinking with friends, I assume...
Boss, you said you called 911? Yeah. Alright, my man. You got to help us out too, being a police officer.
What do I need to do?
Not call 911.
I'm calling 911 because I can't breathe. I can't breathe in here.
Do you remember prior to the George Floyd incident that we got in the habit of saying, if you can talk, you can breathe? Do you remember that?
I understand.
So the fact that you're able to raise your voice, the fact that you're able to bang on a door, the fact that you're able to dial 911 leads me to believe, or a reasonable person to believe, that you are able to get oxygen into your lungs.
Have you ever been trapped in a jail cell?
I have not. But what I can tell you is I do have asthma, and I do take an inhaler. So I can sympathize with you when I do have that feeling of the entrapment. But what I can offer to you is that we're going to open up your tray door here, and if you'd like, you can get some fresh air that comes through there. Until you decide to stop banging on the jail door and calling 911, you're going to sit in here. The sooner that you can just take a little nap and wake up and kind of be in a better mood, the sooner that you're going to get out of here. I have to report back to your lieutenant this evening, and now I got to report back this behavior furthermore.
What's the behavior?
So you've been nothing but disruptive in the jail facility this evening.
At around 3:30 a.m., once Officer Romo stopped banging on his cell door, the Scottsdale officers called a taxi and released him with a citation. Officer Romo was charged with assault and disorderly conduct, and on March 23, 2021, he pleaded guilty to the disorderly conduct charge, while the assault charge was dismissed at the request of the city attorney. According to Real World Police, Lieutenant Chris Champa of the Roseville Police Department reported that Officer Romo's last day with the Roseville PD was November 18, 2020, 4 days after he was arrested. Overall, the Scottsdale officers get an A+ for maintaining respectful and professional demeanors throughout the interaction, refusing to give Officer Romo special treatment based on his status as a police officer, and demonstrating a solid understanding of the Arizona law involved. The Scottsdale officers handled this situation how I would like to see them handle any situation involving an overly intoxicated individual. They gave Officer Romo multiple opportunities to simply go home and sleep it off without immediately resorting to an unnecessary arrest, and then stepped in to arrest him and remove him from the streets once he became a genuine threat to public order and safety. They should also be commended for the tremendous amount of patience they demonstrated in dealing with Officer Romo's intoxicated behavior and the genuine consideration they showed him while he was in their custody. Officer Romo gets an F for becoming unsafely intoxicated in public and refusing to go home, threatening multiple bar patrons with violence, and expecting to avoid the consequences of his actions due to his status as a police officer. Although much of Officer Romo's behavior is attributable to his intoxicated state, I believe it is a safe assumption that his inebriation was the result of his own conscious choices. And I would not be surprised to learn that Officer Romo's entitled mindset was not entirely the product of his alcohol consumption. Officer Romo repeatedly brought up the fact that he had a law enforcement ID, as if it were some sort of defense to his actions, when in reality it just made his conduct all the more unfortunate. It is essential that officers understand that they are not above the law just because they have a badge, and this encounter demonstrates the importance of fair and impartial treatment of law enforcement officers who engage in illegal behaviors. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to pick up your copy of the Civilian Rights Hand Guide in the links below.